Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. And today we are going to discuss good cops and bad cops. We are overrun with bad cops. And when we happen to have a few good cops, they are run out or set up or fired for ridiculous reasons that just happen to be reported right after they tell on a bad cop. Something always happens to get them removed or for them to leave. And what is being done to protect good cops? Well, until we get rid of the higher ups, there's nothing we can do. So, again, we need to clean it out from the top to the bottom and either restaff or find a new way because it's not working. What's going on today is not working, and it will only get worse with abuse because the longer it goes on, the bigger the ego gets, the bigger the belief of I can't be touched gets, and the violence at that point will get worse and worse. And right now, it's critical. I mean, it's coming to even where they make sure people are not on this earth anymore. So, I mean, how much worse can it get? People get beaten to a bloody pulp, like with my video yesterday, huge knots like you've never seen before on the sides of people's heads, kicking them in the face, smashing the back of their heads into the cement. What more could they do to be removed and yet not be removed? Well, let's watch some clips of some more abuse of power and position, and also the people who try to speak up and what happens to them.
Yeah, I'm just a little pissed. I'm like, I don't know. There's some kind of thing I'm gonna take. I'm not being told by anyone when I'm controlling a suspect what to do. If he was non-compliant, I'll let him sit there all day. You want to work Happy Squad? Go work fucking Happy Squad. Don't come and tell me how to do my job.
Well, I guess he belongs to the miserable squad, as he just admitted. We don't need those kinds of officers, mainly because they are very abusive and very dangerous, as you can see. I did cut a very tiny portion out, but I want to show mainly almost the whole video because I want you to see the demeanor of the victim, how he was very cooperative through the whole thing, how the cop escalated it and then attacked him several times, several different ways for no reason.
By work, I mean, have you ever done any construction work?
That's what I'm trying to do here.
Have you ever done anything for the city in the past?
If I done construction work for the city, yes. You know, I mean, whatever channels I need to go through, whoever I need to talk to be able to get that contract, I definitely will. I'm not put you the city can put it out there, that they have a training program to get these installed, and I think that if the government's going to force us to wear masks, and to do that, and companies are willing to step up for that reason, I think companies would be willing to step up for installing in every home, pre-existing in any home, infrared sensors that can establish where the fire is actually at, and fire systems that are capable of extinguishing that fire without destroying the entire house and the entire property, the belongings within the house. That way, if the fire is isolated, like I was saying, like if it were to happen right here, I'd move this light out a little bit, that way it gives a little more coverage to this area. But anyways, whatever, like the kitchen, you'd be able to sense when it's on the stove and then when it comes off the stove, right? I mean, these systems are incredible. And so what I'm thinking is if the fire starts here, you don't need to soak the entire house in order to put out this fire, right? You just have it activate the system right here, boom, pops down. I think aesthetically that it can come out of the light, because I mean shit, if it pops out the light, bing, even if it takes out the light bulb, then you just pop back in kind of thing, right? Just push back in. and put the light back in there. See, you think, you know?
So you've
Very
got
easy.
some training in this stuff.
Me, I'm an intellect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
and I'll tell
they
you
don't know
what I
that
do.
much, so that's why they called us.
That one lady sitting behind the desk, she was like, yeah, I will listen to this guy. She was a Mexican gal with black dress on.
Yeah. Somebody just panic button because did you get loud?
Oh yeah, I got really loud.
Okay, that's the problem.
It was a speak up kind of thing.
Did you say again? Pay for a place. Okay. Where do you live, buddy?
I'm actually over at the road, yeah.
The roadway? Okay. How'd you get down here?
And I walked. You walked. Yeah. If you truly know me, I'm not boasting or anything like that, but the entire journey, going to my probation office and everything like that, to go trash the entire way.
You're on probation?
You know, they said if I filled out that letter and everything like that, because they tried to double contract with probation, I'm pretty sure that's a testament to intellectual abilities, you know, comprehension, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I work with a bunch of tweakers and things like that, you know, when I say tweakers and stuff, because I don't want you guys arresting me. You know, because I see ladies and dudes with families and stuff that really want to get back to their kids or their kids in their lives. And so I see that, you know, and the anger and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to deal with this.
Right.
You know, I mean, I saw a lady in her shin the other day, I'm a big pussy. Big pussy. And so, like, it was the hardest thing in the world for me to do that. I was like, oh, God. Oh, God. And then she was, like, swinging her purse at me. I was so fucking nasty. I don't know if it's the funniest thing in the world, but...
Have you ever met some of our code responders?
You know, I can be with you.
Or is your question on
Oh, you know, actually, one of the things
Yes.
because there's some homeless that don't have housing, right? And why the fuck did they go to a crisis center? Why do they go? You know where she's at, right? Why do they go there and go, hey, babe,
Check my
we're gonna get
temperature.
you a home, we're gonna go ahead and put you in an apartment, we see that you're on the street, we see that you like to drink, that's cool. We see that you like to smoke weed, cool. We see that you like to hang out and talk to people, cool. I mean, but like that lady's old, like she deserves a home. You know, she deserves a place to live.
Yeah, she does.
I give
What
her a
about
place to
you?
live.
Have you ever been over there?
Oh,
Crisis
yeah.
center?
I got them by fall.
You do?
Yeah.
We can go over there if you'd like to.
Oh, I'm not in a crisis.
Mike.
Yeah, there's no way that you can take me. Yes.
What's that?
I said there's no way that you can take me.
You don't want to go to the crisis center?
I go over there. I go in there and I wait for
Well, being that you come in, you made some pretty alarming statements over there. People got pretty concerned. You said you're on probation?
I don't even know if I'm on probation.
Okay.
They said they try, like I told you, they try to double contract me. So I mean, if they take it to court, they try to put a contract on a contract. You know,
Yeah.
it's power.
I haven't had it now.
I've had a judge tell me that my competency. You're not going to touch me, dude. Not right now. Listen, you can hug me first, and then you can search me.
Hug first? Alright, cool. You see this guy's up there? I mean, we're just checking.
You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
When you put it in my butt and you touch my butt, that really sucks and really offends me. Right? Because I'm all about peace and love.
Head on over there.
Watch here as the officer starts getting aggressive and using the language to give himself reason to be aggressive and violent, as he starts with bending this man's wrist and continuing to keep his wrist bent in a very painful manner the whole time. And again, as I've said before, the language they use, it means when they want to pretend that somebody's fighting so they can then get rougher, which is don't resist, don't do this, don't do that, stop pulling, stop turning, when they're really not, just so they can be aggressive and get more aggressive and violent, even though that should never happen.
All right, go ahead and spread your feet, bud. Can you spread
Separate your feet.
We're just gonna check you, buddy.
bodily harm to me, you are going against God's will, man.
Well, now I don't know about that. 'Cause
How do you not know about that?
I ain't.
Do you think this body's meant to hurt? Do you think that you're okay?
Well,
Do you think that is your job to hurt me?
here's what I can tell you,
I mean,
buddy.
for reals.
Okay.
Shouldn't you be making me laugh? Shouldn't you be making me smile?
Well, I can make you laugh.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Why didn't you?
Because right now.
Now, as the man's telling him, "You're hurting me," and again, keep watching for the wrists, but before you can actually clearly see it, he is going to choke this man and then act like it's no big deal and like they did nothing wrong and that he's just going to get up after this with no problem and antagonizing him by saying, "Oh, you're a big boy, get up. You can stand up on your own. You're a grown man." Well, you just choked the hell out of him. So tell me how you would feel after that. You wouldn't be able to just get right up. The violence has got to stop. And these officers need to be fired. And the ones that don't report it need to be fired as well.
I'm in my car. 28,
Dude, I said don't.
Come on, man. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
You're not gonna grab my hand.
Okay.
Okay? You're not gonna grab my hand.
I didn't grab your hand.
You are. So release.
You good?
You gonna mellow?
You've got a warrant for your arrest, okay?
Just take it easy, bud.
Don't pull on me, dude.
Now, the guy did nothing to be choked. Nothing. Was not resisting, was not fighting. Nobody's life was in harm or danger. And yet he gets choked. Then he can't breathe and he's trying to get his breath to where the female officer says, "Are you okay?" You can see in his face, he is stunned that this happened. He can't catch his breath. And then you remember this for later on because you're going to need it. She then tells him, "You have a warrant for your arrest." You're going to need it to see how the cop lies to cover his own butt. And there's a lot more I'm going to point out where there's so much corruption here.
Just stand up.
Pull on me.
Come on, pull
You're a
up.
grown man. Stand up.
Stand up so we can go out to the car. Come on.
You ready?
You can do this. We're gonna get your other stuff from over there. You got a warrant. You just gotta go take care of it.
Warrant for what?
I think it's
Vandalism
probation.
out of evidence, felony.
It's a felony vandalism warrant.
I didn't vandalize anything.
Come
Okay,
on.
it's not up for discussion. Stand up.
No, wait a minute. I didn't vandalize anything.
Stand up.
Stand up. The judge put out a warrant for you.
Excuse Motherfucker, my wrist hurts, ma'am. It hurts so fucking bad. I didn't pull away from you. That fucking kid. You're a fucking hurt me. Why are you hurting me?
You walk like a grown
Why?
man.
Then let go of my fucking wrist. Excuse me, dude?
See how you're grabbing my hand?
That's your hand? My bad. My bad.
Let go of it!
Let go of my hand.
Let go of it! I am not playing with you anymore. You understand? If I tell you to let go of my hand, let go of my hand.
I thought it was my fucking hand.
I told you twice. Now
And then
this
you-
time you're
why
gonna
didn't you
stand
back
up. Listen, you're gonna stand up. You're
not
gonna
fuck-
walk like a grown man to my car.
Get off me!
Do you understand?
Get off me!
Do you understand?
Get the fuck off me, dog.
Do you understand?
Get the fuck off me now.
We can sit here all day.
Get off
Do
me.
you understand?
Get off me.
Do you
I said
understand?
get off me. I said get off me. I haven't done anything to aggress you. I haven't done anything to hurt you.
Do you
I
understand?
gave you a hug and
Let's
you
stand
pushed
up,
me away.
okay?
Stand up.
Stand up.
I gave you a
Okay.
hug. My wrists are hurting.
Okay.
Look at
Walk.
walking me.
The car is right there. Let's
I mean,
go.
I'll
We're
walk.
almost to the car,
I mean,
okay?
look at this. I'll walk.
Let's go.
Grab his stuff, man.
Fucking Christ. Talk about sin. Fucking hurt me. What the fuck for, man? It's not up for discussion, but you're gonna hurt me? I already told you I didn't vandalize anything. Fucking evidence. I
got
told you I'd
keys?
pick up garbage. Like, you guys didn't hear none of that, or what? You guys don't trust
that's
me?
something the judge did, and that's Evans, okay? Right now, they're saying you have a warrant. It's a felony.
God damn it.
I'll put your seatbelt on.
I'll be seeing you.
You can get my card. I'm good with it.
Matt grabbed it.
It's right here. I was gonna get a bag.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through that. He's got that thing tied up real good. I don't even
Where
know.
was that?
It was in his pocket. He set it down while I was talking to him before you guys arrived. It was on one of the other counters across.
It's empty.
Will anybody call a custody?
No.
These are mine.
Sorry, Ken.
Yeah.
I didn't go through his wallet.
He set something down on the counter when I was talking to him. Let me go check.
Don't have to show you the warrant. You're not a criminal justice major. Well, even if you are, then you should know that a warrant does not have to be produced for someone.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm just a little pissed. Like, I don't know.
Whoops.
Kind of thing, I'm only being told by anyone when I'm controlling a suspect what to do. He was non-compliant. I'll let him sit there all day. You want to work Happy Squad? Go work fucking Happy Squad. Don't come and tell me how to do my job.
You need anything?
I'm gonna call the county and make sure they're actually gonna take it.
Crashing around.
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna go back over to finance and tell those guys what's up.
Okay.
I don't think we have any new charges.
Just the warrant.
Thank you guys. Yep.
Oh, shoot. Sir, can you come down to the round building? We're on the east side parking lot.
So this guy got squirrely with us after we told him he had a warrant and stuff. So
This guy got squirrely with us after we told him he had a warrant. Now, remember when I told you to remember that part about the warrant? He wasn't told he had a warrant until after he was arrested, heading out the door, and told them his wrists were hurting, and he decided to choke him out. And then maybe a minute after that, the female officer finally says, "You've got a warrant." So this officer absolutely lied to justify his actions, even though no matter what, these actions are never justified. Which these officers do this all the time. And again, it has to be stopped. The behavior has to be stopped. They have to be watched, and they have to have consequences. And with behavior like this, they have to be fired. They are very dangerous people. And definitely not role models as they are supposed to be. We definitely need change, and we need it now.
we're pulling him out, and then He kept trying to curl under and grab my hand, so I took him down. So he wants to talk to us, Sergeant, about the whole mess. That's what he said. Felony, probation, FTC. Matt says he was looking for work to install devices.
Saying something about the fire department, getting rid of the fire department.
Right. He basically, he's off his meds or whatever, but basically what he's looking for is, he said,
The saddest part is what I thought from the beginning. So obviously, this man knew from the beginning, and he finally admitted it here. This guy is not a mentally stable person. And as he just said, he's off his meds. So this is how we treat the mentally unstable. That was very kind to you, was not giving you any problems besides from his mental disability, which was very minor, just talking, which obviously aggravated you, which is your problem, not his. And if you can't handle that within your job, then again, you don't need to be in that job. And as minor as that was, if it aggravated you, you are a very disturbed person yourself, and definitely very dangerous, especially of explosions. I hope you don't have kids. I hope you are single, because I fear for any family that you may have. And I fear for the people on the roads that you've dealt with or will deal with. I hope he was fired. I hope he was charged. And I hope he can never be a police officer again. That's the way it should be. And then things could be good again. Then we could get our good officers back working and have that positivity in our community again.
that he was trying to tell them that he was looking for work for the city to install these fire, devices, these fire alarm devices to help so they don't burn down. So Mattery checked with his name? Matthew. Well, I know he went to take the cops out. Yeah, they'll take him. Felony, they'll take him.
This is where I've said many a times we have to start at the top and clear out the positions and either revamp and refill and start over, or we have to figure out a new way, because the corruption goes all the way to the top. And that is why we don't have any more good officers and why we lose good officers. This situation is also going to show you a typical Florida cop. They are horrible here. Very horrible and very corrupt. We can also add very disrespectful and very unprofessional. And they love to use a nasty foul mouth. I also had one do a hit and run with my vehicle. And they covered it up. Wouldn't tell me who he was. Wouldn't give me any information. So we know how deep the corruption goes here. And you're going to see the way this cop acts and the aggression and intimidation is exactly how they approach you. Threatening, intimidation, violence. They come at you like they have the right to just violate you in any way they can think of and get away with it. And that's because they all cover up for one another. There are many of crooked things that they do and stories I could tell you, but we're going to focus on this one right now. This was a new cop, I believe, to this area. So she was doing, her training under her corporal. He showed his true colors by walking up to a man minding his own business, sitting on a bench, and threatened to attack him. Not once, but twice. Once while he was sitting there, once as he was walking away. And you wonder what happens to our good officers, why they're not around anymore. Well, this is why. And we, the people, need to stand up and start doing something about it, because these bad ones have to go. The corruption has to go.
Now at 6. It's body camera video that landed a DeLand police officer under investigation, but not off your streets.
But then I turned on my body camera, and apparently he didn't turn his on.
And tonight, we're hearing from the former officer who recorded this heated confrontation. That body camera video allegedly shows a DeLand police officer yelling profanities at a man who was just sitting on a bench. Good evening, I'm George Estevez.
I'm Vanessa Eccles. The incident recorded outside a 7-Eleven is now the subject of an internal investigation. Today, only investigative reporter Carla Ray spoke to the now former officer who took that video to her supervisor. And Carla, you found out the officer who's under investigation is still on patrol.
We came out here, we wanted to be able to show people exactly where this happened. Those officers were here at this 7-Eleven store working a different unrelated trespassing call in the parking lot when for some reason the corporal came over to a man who was sitting on this bench, and you're about to see what happened next.
The first 30 seconds of this quick body camera video is silent. It's the pre-roll feature that preserved the moments leading up to when Allison Bainbridge watched her former corporal Ken Ramkissoon walk up to a man sitting on a bench outside of a DeLand 7-Eleven. She turned the camera on just in time to hear this.
I've been in law enforcement for over 8 years, and I have never been in an incident like this before. It shocked my conscience to see what happened there.
It happened on June 24th when the officers were called to this store for a different trespassing call. The city of DeLand wouldn't release documents or body camera video to us due to an ongoing internal investigation, but Bainbridge obtained copies of both incidents after filing a complaint, including this view taken from Ramkissoon's camera as he approached the original trespassing subject.
I tell you to leave. Don't raise your voice at me because I'll jump. I tell you to leave.
This document shows Bainbridge went to her sergeant to complain the very same day. But a week later, Ramkissoon filed paperwork of his own, detailing what he described as concerns about the manner in which Officer Bainbridge is performing her duties. It's part of a packet DeLand sent 9 investigates today to show justification for firing Bainbridge this week.
Didn't say anything about my performance until I filed this complaint.
It's funny, there was nothing wrong with her performance until after she made her complaint, and his complaint only came in after her complaint. And then you'll find out another situation came up from 8 months ago about her not turning on her body camera 8 months ago again. Now, but it was okay for him not to turn on his body camera when he was threatening an innocent citizen. Yes, this is definitely retaliatory and definitely to get a good cop out of their department. They want to keep the corruption going. They want to keep corrupt cops only. They are not going to let a good cop come in and take that away from them. So again, we the people need to unite and help the good cops get rid of the bad ones and turn this around, because this has to end. These corrupt ones end up taking people off this earth. They end up really damaging people, harming people. And some of those people are your friends and loved ones. And that has to end. Especially for the innocent citizens, like this man who was just sitting on a bench, not doing anything wrong and minding his own business. And this corrupt officer just walks up and starts threatening him. This has to end now.
Today, the City of DeLand spokesperson told me that her firing has nothing to do with her speaking out about this incident. We did find that she had a letter of counseling given to her just last week after she failed to immediately turn on her body camera video in an incident all the way back in May. After that letter of counseling, she was fired just days later. She is a
And now here's the follow-up. She has decided to sue the department, as she should.
Fired days after filing a complaint against her supervisor, is now suing the department.
Investigative reporter Carla Ray broke the story in July of last year. She joins us live in studio. Carla, Allison Bainbridge's complaint against her supervisor led to his demotion, but she is the one out of a job here?
Yeah, Bainbridge raised a red flag after her body camera captured this incident involving a superior officer berating and swearing at a homeless man sitting outside of a 7-Eleven. This lawsuit shows how just days after she filed that complaint against this officer, that man filed a different complaint against her, and she was fired while he stayed on the force.
Did I tell you to leave? Don't raise your voice at me because I'll drop. Did I tell you to leave?
These body camera videos cost DeLand officer Ken Ramkissoon his rank of corporal, but only after the officer wearing the camera in this clip exposed them to her chain of command. You can hear Allison Bainbridge's disgust in the footage, which she reiterated immediately to her supervisors and to 9 Investigates when we spoke to her in July of 2018.
I've been in law enforcement for over 8 years, and I have never been in an incident like this before. It shocked my conscience to see what happened there.
Now, a just filed lawsuit details how Bainbridge believes she was wrongfully terminated as a result of that complaint. All along, DeLand has pointed to performance issues during Bainbridge's probationary period as the reason for her dismissal. But the lawsuit details how Ramkissoon, the very person she complained about, filed a complaint against her days later. The suit claims it was put in her personnel file without her knowledge and without her having a chance to respond. And that the first time she learned about it was when I gave her a copy of it the day of our interview after she was let go.
Didn't say anything about my performance until I filed this complaint.
There was one other letter of counseling in Bainbridge's file, but that was also submitted in July, just days before her termination. That one was related to an incident from April of last year in which she didn't turn on her body camera right away, something she didn't even know she would be counseled for. A city attorney told us today that they plan to vigorously defend against Bainbridge's, quote, baseless allegations.
Baseless? I don't think so. And like I said before, what this officer did was commit a crime. He committed assault. An assault is an intentional, unlawful threat by words or act to do violence to the person of another, coupled with an apparent ability to do so, and doing some acts which creates a well-founded fear in such other persons that such violence is imminent. Again, he is committing a crime. And maybe he doesn't care because down here in Florida, they will not do anything about it if that is done to a citizen. So why should they care to do it to a citizen? And I've been through that with these police officers for most of my life here in Florida. This needs to be fixed. And I really hope this woman comes out ahead. And again, it shouldn't be the people paying the bill for what these corrupt officers do. It needs to be paid by these officers and the higher ups who are protecting them. And they need to also be fired and removed after paying the bill that they caused by this lawsuit. And we'll see how far the corruption goes in the courthouse that she's going to be fighting it in, because we know the courthouses are very corrupt as well. So we'll see the outcome, and that'll prove how deep the corruption is inside the courthouses as well. And the last thing I'm going to say again is we need to get this fixed, because we need good officers back, and we need to get rid of these corrupt officers that are abusive and very dangerous. thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and set the bell for notifications. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you all so much for your support, and I will see you on my next video. And I forgot to say, please share the video so that we can spread the news. Everyone must know what's going on out there. Thank you guys. Bye.